Everyone still looks uncomfortable.
Perhaps they'd all remembered that old saying, power corrupts.
Hello and welcome to Second Officer Slog, episode 23. I'm your host, Em, and with me is regular co-host Jackson.
Hello, I am the regular co-host.
We're here to talk about Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Discovery is a new television show airing on CBS All Access. It is in its 13th of 15th episodes. It is almost over. Jackson, how do you feel about Discovery now that it's almost over?
Weird. I mean, this is always the part where I feel the worst about any show.
Yeah, no. I mean, whatever. We'll talk about it. Let's just get into it. I haven't watched Star Trek. I don't think you've watched Star Trek. Let's just talk about this one episode of Star Trek.
It's probably going to be a fairly short episode.
Yeah, no, it's been a bad day for me. So I just want to get to it and get this podcast out. Sorry it's late. That's also a problem. But...
Yes, I'm going to go edit this and put it up hopefully after this. There'll be a lot of podcasts dropping tonight / tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's been a disaster. Hopefully next week things will chill a little bit.
But you know what was also a disaster?
Everything. Anyway, let's play some music. Oh, we don't play music.
We don't play music in the show.
Oh,
Hoisted.
Sorry, I just got off work.
This
and
episode.
It's been a really long day.
I know. I got you though. This episode is called What's Past is Prologue. It is episode 13 of season 1 of Discovery. It aired 28th of January 2018. It was written by Ted Sullivan and directed by Olatunde Osunsanmi? That's close.
Olatunde Osunsanmi, yes.
Okay. Look, I knew I was wrong. I was doing my best. But,
Okay. I'm glad that you're as bad at Nigerian names than you are Japanese names.
I'm bad at... what do you expect from me?
It's not you, it's your
Imperial
entire
legacy
country,
of my
yes.
awful country lives on in my accent and
It's
pronunciation.
almost as if empires are meant to fall.
Or almost as if that. Who could say?
Yeah, no.
So yes, in this episode, a lot happens. It is the conclusion of the Mirror Universe arc that's been going on.
I would
so
like
far.
to helpfully point out that Memory Alpha lists this as Mirror Universe episode 7 of 13.
Oh right, yes, because there's so much DS9 to go.
Yes. And Mirror Mirror.
Wait, but then because I've done it in chronological order for some fucking reason.
You know?
Great. What a good show. What a ridiculous wiki. But yes, no. So this episode concerns itself with the big twist of last week that Lorca is actually from the Mirror Universe, and the entire thing is about his fight with Emperor Giorgio and how that all goes down.
Do you want me to briefly summarize what happens in this episode, then we can talk about the episode? I don't think we need to do a beat by beat summary because
we don't.
This episode has a lot of action, and just like in our Gundam recaps, when action happens, it's not actually interesting to summarize.
There's a lot of the battle rages, so there's two plots, but they're kind of the same plot. I don't know. If you want to do it, you can do it. I can do it if you'd rather me do it.
So Lorca is from the Mirror Universe. He is the uber racist, even more so than normal Mirror Universe people. And he now believes that him going to the Prime Universe was like the hand of fate deigning him to obviously be the person who will run the Terran Empire. And he's going to take out Filippo Georgiou. And basically, as he breaks out all of his friends, he does that very rapidly. Like, he's very quickly taking over the ship. Meanwhile, everyone on Discovery has a plan to take out that ship and the thing that's corrupting all of the mycelial network by shooting the giant glowing orb on the ship. That's the weak point. Go figure. But to do that, they need Michael Burnham to shut down the protective field around it. Michael Burnham is trying to get to Georgiou, trying to stop Gabriel Lorca, and also now needs to shut this down. And she handily does all of these things because she's Michael Burnham, damn it. And she will get anything done she puts her mind to. There's a bunch of fighting, and I mean a bunch of fighting. A lot of people get vaporized. There's like force fields, emergency transporters, all the things that probably made some Star Trek nerd on a message board very angry all happen in this episode. But she succeeds in turning off the thing. Mirror Stamets, because the Stametses actually weren't body swapped. We were wrong about that. Sorry. Mirror Stamets,
We were wrong about everything.
Mirror Stamets gets murked by getting shot and vaporized, and Lorca goes, "I hate poetry," and shoots him. It's very dumb. Anyway, Michael Burnham meets Emperor Georgiou and convinces her that together they can stop Lorca, and they have to stop Lorca because Lorca's clearly the biggest evil. And they do that by like her bringing her in just like Leia does to Chewie in Return of the Jedi, basically. And it's equally just a trap, obviously. And anyway, it's kind of dumb. And then there's a big, huge firefight, and like Lorca and Michael Burnham have this fight with each other, and Michael Burnham gets the drop on him and is like, "I won't kill you. That's what we do. That's what Starfleet is." And then Emperor Georgiou's like, "But I will," and then stabs him through the chest, killing him. Well, actually, that doesn't kill him, though it probably would if he didn't fall through the trapdoor into the giant mycelial orb and then get like disintegrated into the mycelial network. Presumably dead. I guess they could always write him as being in the network, but I don't think they will. That's stupid because they made him too cartoonishly evil to bring back.
Yep.
Anyway,
meanwhile,
so no, the thing is down. Like the shield is down because Burnham got that done, and the Discovery's coming in and is going to shoot that core. That core is going to cause a massive explosion that will destroy the Charon, but ideally it will allow the Discovery to ride the waves and get home, but only if they go to warp and hit the wave just right, because the warp bubble will provide extra shielding, blah, blah, blah. It's just a bunch of like technobabble. Star Trek is here still in this. And they shoot they go to shoot the thing and everything's going to blow up. And Georgiou's like, I will hold the line, Michael Burnham, as all of Gabriel Lorca's men come in. You beam out, be safe, go do whatever you do, I guess. You're kind of like my Michael Burnham. And then as she gets beamed out, she grabs on to Philippa Georgiou, and they both get beamed out just as the Discovery shoots the thing, the ship explodes, and they warp, and Paul Stamets has some trouble, but manages to get them into their universe. Hooray, the day is saved. Except, once they get to their universe, they realize that they did not get into the right time in their universe, and it is 9 months later, and as they try to check the status of the war, the Federation Klingon map war, I don't even know how they get this information really, but whatever, it's not worth talking about. The map is just Federation shrinking as the Klingon thing grows, and it's revealed that in the 9 months Federation has lost almost all of its space to the Klingons. The war is basically over, and the Federation is losing. The end.
Oh, it's exhausting. This show's exhausting.
Yes, I'm really excited for season 2 to be chill. Like, there's been a few things, people talking like, yeah, we have a plan for season 2, like we've already broke what the whole arc's about, and it's going to be another arc, but we want to do more like Star Trek episodes now that people like our show.
Because, yeah, well, so there's multiple things here. Is that this should have been the finale? I guess, but it can't because of all the stuff that has to be wrapped up. But thematically, I guess what the show was building to is Lorca being like an actual mirror for the Federation, and then her going, "You could have asked to come home. We would have. That's what we do." Like that's the climax of what the show's been doing. But it's just kind of shoved all into this one episode, so there's no time to deal with it at all. You said something that is very true to me yesterday, which is that what they've actually done is they've made a 15-hour Star Trek movie.
Yeah, no, because my complaint is with the Star Trek movies, specifically the TNG ones, is that it's impossible to make, you know, Abrams verse 2, it's impossible to give you this crew that you identify with and then has a threat to them that they have to tackle in Star Trek-y ways that like makes sense, has character beats, and fills up 2 hours. It's just, you can't fit all that in. Star Trek doesn't work at that pace. Thankfully, they found a solution, which is just make 15-hour movie. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, like they did, but also
okay.
It has the same movie problems.
They made like 3 movies actually. One of them is 2 hours. One of them is like 9 hours. This one is like 6. I guess there's probably going to be another short movie in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, but like it's the thing that it has that the movies don't have is that every 45 minutes a new fucking twist comes out of nowhere, and there's just too many. There's just too many. Even if we called basically every single one of them,
yeah.
There is definitely too many, and this one, like all the things we were saying about Lorca still being the captain and maybe not being so cartoonishly evil, all wrong. We were so hoisted by 1 week of history.
We were doing so well before that, so I feel okay. I like being wrong also.
Being wrong is good, but it's disappointing when the way is like, man, they wouldn't abandon all that nuance.
They did. But also, at the same time, like, I've been watching the show going, yeah, of course, these are the choices I would make sure. Yeah, no, this is all come to bear exactly how I'd expect. And then just watching it all dissolve as Gabriel Lorca gets stabbed and then dissolved himself made me excited to watch a thing that I didn't exactly know beat for beat. I don't think it's like the smartest choices, but the surprise on some level works all on its own.
Yeah, I think it was interesting, especially with like, so I'm not very interested in the war stuff at the moment. I haven't watched the preview. Apparently, the preview sets up what the actual story is going to be, but I don't watch those. I don't understand people who do.
I don't understand why you don't watch them. They're part of the episode.
I'm going to be there next week. I'm not
like
not
they run the preview before they run the credits. Like it's right built into the episode,
which is stupid.
No.
Anyway,
the joy of watching TV live is that you get to watch the previews, and no one knows anything more than what's in the previews. Everyone's like, "Oh, what does that mean? Are we being misdirected? Is this what the next episode's about?" You get to be excited.
No, because like you stop like thinking about what happened in the show that you just watched and what that means going forward, and start thinking about disconnected. It just means you're always watching a trailer.
I absolutely do not feel that way.
This is how I feel. I'm very staunch about this. M is my mirror counterpart.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it feels like there's just a lot of busy work wrapping up to do in this season. I assume the final episodes will be fine. I don't know what they're actually going to like fill them with. I assume it's going to be a lot of Georgiou stuff.
Georgiou, Laurel, maybe some Ash Tyler. You still have two Klingons on the ship.
That wasn't mentioned once.
Well, you know,
only 43 minutes this week.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of fighting. Fighting for the most part, much better than the fighting has ever been on a Star Trek show, ever. Which only serves to make it feel smaller. So this is one of the biggest episodes of the season, just in terms of action happening, and yet it was the one that felt most like a tiny episode of TV because of this, because all the fighting happened in like a corridor.
Excuse me, a corridor and a throne room.
But the throne room was at the end of the corridor.
No, those are different areas, I think.
They may be different areas of the ship, but the way it is played is that Georgiou walked out into this corridor and Lorca's approaching from the other side of the corridor, so it just makes it seem like the entire ship is a long corridor, and I thought that was really funny.
Yes, no, I mean, they're redressing like clearly like maybe one or two sets, but those are implied to be very different spaces, I feel like.
Sure, but like the budget for what they're doing is not there, even though they've got such a ridiculous budget compared to like old Star Trek or any Star Trek before this that wasn't on in the movies. I think it's ridiculous that they're still outreaching. They're still trying for something so much bigger than they can actually do. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That fight in the throne room is pretty cool.
Georgiou kicks a knife thrown at her out of the air. It's fucking cool.
Sure does. Someone said we can't like not have Michelle Yeoh do this.
Yeah.
We can't cast her and not have her do
this. There's also some really exceptional, obvious stunt performers if you watch that sequence.
Oh, there sure is.
Yes.
A lot of people getting vaporized. Being vaporized is horrifying.
Yeah, no, they really just vaporize real bad. And I think that's specifically like the Mirror Universe guns. I assume that the phasers don't do that.
No, but like we've seen how the Klingon vaporization's been changed.
It's like a bunch of green dust. This almost looks like the old like TNG Disruptor style, where you just turn into like a red outline that like dissolves up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's they're there and then they're not. It's fucked up.
Yep.
So that's that. What else is there in the? So another thing where we differed was that last week I was really excited for the stuff about the network. Thinking, the idea of this like existential threat to the entire universe that is also tied really nicely to the emotional stuff with Stamets and Hugh. Clearly that's going to be like the central thing for the actual finale of the show. Like it operates on such a different scale, both in terms of the actual threat and also the ridiculous universe love poetry that is the network plot. So I was all very excited for some real friends of the table bullshit. It's not that. It's Star Trek. It's the thing they have to fix with the warp bubble.
All they got to do is put spores in their photon torpedoes and shoot it.
Yep. And then like there's a brief montage where he's like, follow Hugh's voice, open your eyes. And I'm like, I guess that's close to what I was expecting, but not like like I guess you still did it a bit, but which is more on me for being really excited for thinking that was the turn they were going to make. I don't know why I would think that of Star Trek, but I totally... You can't bring a threat that existential in and not have me expect it to like overtake everything, and it ends up just being a kind of MacGuffin to get them home.
Yeah.
And now the network's healed, and they could just theoretically use the network forever.
I mean, they burned through all of their spores.
They can get some new spores. That is not the...
At some point, they have to stop using the network because Star Trek has to happen, so...
I thought that was the out. They gave themselves an out, and then they undid it.
Yeah. Also, a green spore that might not mean anything, but there aren't any other green spores, lands on Tilly's shoulder.
I thought it didn't mean anything. I thought it was just a visual.
And I'm like, what if that means something?
What would it mean?
I don't know.
The spores are green sometimes.
To be determined in season 2 when they decide, hey, we put that spore on her shoulder. What if we did something with that?
Yeah, possibly. That is totally a possibility. I'm not here to say it's not.
Yep.
Fantastic moments with Captain Saru, who is now just the de facto captain of the ship, I assume.
We get an actual captain's log with Saru for one, which is just good. He describes himself as acting captain, but everyone's basically looking to him. And then in the moment where they realize what they got to do and that they'll probably die, he's like, he calls back the thing from the trailer from the very first episode. He's like, my species is known for their ability to sense death. I do not sense death today. And then gives everyone a rousing speech about being the finest crew in the fleet. And like Tilly's crying, and it's very good.
The speech is like, it's like, Lorca is not our captain,
yes.
And this is Discovery's maiden voyage. Today, This is our ship. And I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is, Captain Saru.
Absolutely. Captain Saru is great. If this show ends up being Doug Jones, captain of a starship with Burnham as the first officer, I'll be so excited.
We were talking yesterday about this being like only fucking Star Trek nerds could have a show in which you both have Michelle Yeoh and Jason Isaacs as like the captain, and you end up with Doug Jones.
You know,
like the most nerd-ass choice possible.
Absolutely.
Good show.
Yeah. What else is going on? Gabriel Lorca has some great moments when he's not being like the most, you let aliens come to our doorstep and get a foothold in our empire, and you're not racist enough, Philippa Georgiou. When he's not doing that stuff, he's like legitimately interesting and good, and I'm really gonna miss Jason Isaacs. Jason Isaacs, by the way, is very clear in a bunch of interviews that like, no, I knew I was gonna die the whole time. It was great.
Yeah. His interview is good because then he's like, oh, I knew I was going to die. And then he also has to be like, I don't know if I can't say whether I'm coming back or not, even though all the news stories are about his farewell parties with the crew. Like, I assume he's actually not coming back. Like, maybe season 2, they'll think of something dumb.
No, I'm pretty sure that dude's just
pretty
gone.
dumb.
Yes.
Like you say, they made him too much of a cartoon.
I think you will see way more. I think
you
you will see Michelle Yeoh like in her like original Philippa Georgiou Prime Universe more than you will see Gabriel Lorca. Unless we never do know what the fate of Prime Universe Gabriel Lorca is.
So in the interview, Jason Isaacs gives a bit of backstory that he thinks what it is.
So he's like Gabriel Lorca could be anywhere. He could like totally just be like some guy living his life or whatever. That's what he said, basically, right?
But there was another bit that said that there was backstory written that Mirror Universe Lorca was going to be found out, so he blew up the Baran.
Yeah, so the thing that's revealed in this episode we didn't cover in the thing is that he came into the Prime Universe in an ion storm transport accident, the exact same as the Mirror Mirror episode, which means that he absolutely had to swap bodies with Prime Lorca.
Right, he did.
Yes.
So
Prime Lorca is either dead or running around the Mirror Universe somewhere.
I don't know, because like the way they fix that in Mirror Mirror is they swap back.
Yes.
It's never happened that only one.
I assume he's dead. I assume he died in the ISS Bronze explosion, or whatever.
Yeah, my assumption is that he is essentially dead.
Yes,
but yes, maybe they'll find a way to write him in.
Yes, right. The implication in the interview is that basically Mirror Mirror happened where the Prime Universe immediately was like, oh, this guy's evil, and tried to detain him, and he blew up the ship. Instead of Spock throwing him in the brig, he just blew up the ship.
I mean, that is the 10 years difference in the Federation, right?
Yeah.
Is that at this point, they will give the guy enough leeway to blow up the ship, whereas by the time of Star Trek, they just drag him to the brig and like, shut up.
Also, it's, Spock, like...
He's Spock, yeah.
Yes.
No, I do love that scene where they cut back to...
Yep.
Prime
So all of this mess and all of this whatever, and Lorca's like, I've been to another universe, I've seen fate and everything, and everyone just kind of rolls their eyes at him because nobody believes in fate because it's Star Trek.
Yep.
2, at the end of his like grand speech at like during the big final fight, Michael Burnham's like, you could have asked us. We're Starfleet. We would have helped you get home. And he doesn't even understand what she's saying. Like, even though he's been there entirely through the war because the Baran thing happened during the war. And so for him, the Federation's like a bunch of like ideals that they talk about but don't actually live by because they're in the middle of a war with the Klingons. So he's come in the exact right time to hit the Federation at a part where he would have succeeded and not been immediately found out. And it's a real disaster.
Yeah, no, that line is really good. It is
Yes.
like the thing. It's like the one bit of actual, like, I see what they're doing here. There's actual themes here between everyone shooting each other for 50 minutes.
Also, when he talks to the Discovery, because they're like in contact with Burnham, he's like, I'd ask you all to join my army, and you're all good soldiers, but you're too brainwashed by Starfleet.
Yeah, it's like, I do love you all. You do know that, but you're all brainwashed. You're all part of a cult. So goodbye, go away, go home. I guess whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
So yes. What else is there in this episode? Apparently, there's Is that so? On mirror.
Yes. No, I don't know without looking, so it's not worth bringing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I was going to talk
Yes.
about. So
Yes.
There's
Yes.
a thing that.
Yes. No. So I guess the only thing worth talking about left is that Philippa Georgiou, Empress of the Terran Empire, is now on the Discovery.
Yeah, that happened. I am curious as to where this is going to go, because I couldn't tell with this episode how much they were actually portraying the Emperor of the, like, evil, racist, like, Emperor... empire of an entire universe that has caused untold, like, evil in a way that is beyond cartoonish, and we're like sympathizing this figure, because I know the thing they always do with the mirror universe is that it's like the people are not inherently evil but a victim of this ridiculous circumstance. I don't think that holds true when you're literally the Empire. So the thing I am or literally the Emperor, the thing I am like curious about is, are they actually trying to make us sympathetic, or are they just showing that Burnham is like trying to fix what she did?
Yes,
because she's Burnham.
I definitely read that as Burnham insisting that she can, like, if she saves this Georgiou somehow, she can like make her see reason and be the person that she needs her to be and get her like fake mom back, right?
Yeah, but like if she's able to, I
100% do not believe she will be able to. And part of that is based on what the like next episode's about from the preview.
And that's my hope, because like one of the better moments with her is when she's like, I won't kill you because I'm Starfleet, and she's like, well, I will because I'm the evil emperor of the Terran Empire.
Also, she is furious that she's been brought onto the Discovery and brought to the Prime Universe.
She is so mad that she hasn't been allowed to die with honor. It's the most Klingon thing that's happened.
Yes.
It's like, why would you save me? I was going to have an honorable death in battle.
Yeah.
I'm like, a Worf episode.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, we said last time that the thing that happens as they close off all the possibility spaces but don't fully reach the ending, at this point, if I was watching it, I would just have watched the rest of the episodes, and I wouldn't have this weird nebulous awkward space where I didn't know if I liked where it was going or not.
Yeah.
I'm also just, as a person, I like the openings of big stories more than the back halves, I guess.
Yes.
Like, I like when everyone can see the pieces moving and you're like, okay, what does this mean? What's this setting up? Especially on anything like a series of this size or a huge, movie or event, comic book or something dumb. When, like, the part that's fun about it is that introduction where it's cutting between a billion different things and setting up a billion different plot lines, and everything feels like a world of possibility. And now it has to say something. And it's like, some of the things it's saying are like, fine. I don't think it's not Star Trek, but it's definitely not as exciting as it was when it came back and you were like, oh, they've made this?
So here's my question for you.
Yes.
Season 2. Say we
Yes.
get Captain Saru and First Officer Burnham. Who's the bones? Is it Stamets or is it Ash Tyler?
Oh, I mean, the bones is Tilly?
I think it's. I don't think that can be Tilly.
I don't know.
I think it's Stamets
Like,
or Ash Tyler, right?
No, it has to. I mean, in that scenario, it's Ash, because I think Stamets and Tilly and Burnham are like the engineering trio, and so then.
But she's going to be less and less the engineering trio as like she's the first
right,
officer.
she wants
of
to be on the
ship.
command track.
Yes.
Right.
As we get back to the bridge and we get to hang out with Aryam and Kayla Detmer and Lieutenant Owo Sekun with the good hair.
They get some things to do
Yes.
this week, but like not much.
Yeah, no.
But
I
they
mean,
have a couple
mirror Lieutenant Owo Sekun gets vaporized. Rip her.
Rip. I mean, as soon as she was there giving like more than 2 lines, I was like, well, she's fucking dead.
Yes.
No one
what's
could
her
be more
face? The old security officer died again. That also happened.
Yeah, but to be fair, everyone died in the Mirror Universe.
Yes, no.
Anyone who's on that ship is now rip, as is known. Yeah, I don't know. What do I want for season 2? Like, I definitely want it to chill the hell out. I want the
Yes.
Klingon stuff to be wrapped up.
But does the Klingon stuff being wrapped up not include Ash Tyler and the Rel?
No, I want like outside of the context of a war. What do those characters
Yes.
like do?
That's fair.
I just mean like the Federation. I don't necessarily want the Federation to be at war all the time.
Yes, no.
I want to see what this crew, like how this crew adjusts. Captain Saru is going to be very interesting. I really hope that sticks. There's a world in which it doesn't.
I mean, what is the other option? Like, you get
Captain
a new...
Cornwell.
No. You know what? I'd be into it just because, like, the show needs another woman on the cast also, and I think Cornwall's rad. I don't think that's where that show's going.
No, I don't think that's where it's going, but like
Though,
she's there.
if you make like a psychologist the captain of the starship on this Brian Fuller Star Trek, that is the most ridiculous thing you could ever do.
Yeah, no, like there are upsides to that.
You know?
I don't think it's necessarily the right choice, but like I really like her character, and I'm glad she's still around.
Yes.
Because I saw enough of the preview to see her and Sarek show up. And it's like, hey,
Yeah, it's our favorite side characters.
everyone's here. I don't have a beard now.
Yep.
Cornwell, the only one who doesn't get a mirror counterpart, really.
No. That's fine.
Paul Stamets, not confirmed. Whether
Yeah,
the
nebulous.
counterpart
So
is straight.
yeah, no, I'm just gonna read him as straight forever.
I mean, he's basically evil space Otacon, so
Yes.
like you can't get more straight than that. You
That's
can't
true.
possibly get more straight.
You know, Otacon's the only person who literally slept with a woman who killed herself shortly thereafter because she slept with Otacon.
Oh, I could cure this easily curable illness, but I guess I'd rather die for stupid thematic reasons than ever see this guy I fucked again.
Yeah.
Oh, and with that, this episode's done because we're done talking about Star Trek.
Yes, you know where we are. This is like a bad episode. Jackson, why don't you tell people what other podcasts will be out today? And we'll just call it at that.
We have 2 podcasts dropping right now. One has just dropped before recording. The Great Gundam Project reaches the finale of Mobile Suit Gundam, where everything wraps up. The whole series done.
It
Our
is a
first series
really
done.
long episode.
It's a really long episode. We take everyone's emails. It's a good time. I hope you enjoy, which means that if you are a subscriber for $1 a month to patreon.com/normalmapping, you can enjoy that now. If you are not, then the first episode of the Zeta Gundam podcast will be free. The first episode of every season of Gundam will be free. We don't know how we're going to like deal with the films. They'll probably just be
The
premium.
film stuff will not be free.
Yeah. Well, the first half of the film, but no. So anytime there's a series, the first episode will be free. So
Yes.
you can dip your toe in that way. And if you haven't listened to the Great Gundam Project, probably, if you don't know what Gundam is, don't start there. But if you know what Gundam is, come and see what we're doing. We're also releasing Abnormal Mapping in about 2 hours from now.
So the actual audio probably is up or goes up in 5 minutes. So
well, no, it would be 35 minutes. So I can do the video in
it's
time.
scheduled.
got
I
this.
don't remember what I scheduled it for.
You schedule it on the hour, so it'll
Okay.
be either 35 minutes or 2 hours. Usually it's 2 a.m. Anyway, those are all coming out. The abnormal mapping this week month is about Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
We have Sam on. It is our first Patreon episode. Anyone who subscribes for $10 a month is allowed to take control of the show
for 6 months.
Oh yes, once every 6 months.
Yes,
you get was how we worked it out, which we think is it's cool. You can either guest on the show, or if you don't want to guest, you can still tell us what to do and be like, play this.
Yeah, we have a friend who's maybe going to be on this show someday when they hit that goal.
Yes.
So they'll make us read a terrible book or something.
A lot of people want us to watch. A lot of people trying to claim certain Gundam spots because you're all a bunch of weebs.
Yeah, not so many people claiming Star Trek stuff, but hey, if you want to be on when we talk about Wrath of Khan, you can do that. We don't have any plans to cover the movies anytime soon, so.
No, I mean, we keep talking about the Kelvinverse thing, but Discovery kind of pushed that out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do Kelvin. No one's going to want to be on for Kelvinverse, so I'm not worried about that.
Weird?
Yeah,
Weird.
no, I know, weird.
Yeah, strange. Anyway, you can find the other podcasts we do at abnormalmapping.com. There's the Amory Score at idmail.com. It's good. There's Fireside Friends, which Katie has just showed up again. They are recording monthly now. I listened to the new one recently. It's a very, very good podcast. That is a good show. It is Alan, Ryan, and Katie. Good show. They recently did an episode about Doki Doki Literature Club. Speaking of visual novels, you do Novel Not New.
I do.
Which should be
coming back in the next couple of weeks, yes.
Because everything's been a bit up in the air.
There's no plans, but everyone's played the game, so it'll happen.
It'll happen soon. We have vague plans for the movie cast that we hit the goal on a while ago.
It's a real mess. Yes,
real mess right now. But things are slowly coalescing as they are wont to do. Thank you very much for listening.
Yep.
That was Star Trek. We'll have more to talk about when the episode is better and we're having a better time.
Please look forward to the next two episodes. They're the last two episodes. They're gonna wrap everything up. It'll be nice. Because do you think the season ends on a cliffhanger?
Oh, no way. If they do that, they're dead. You cannot end every single episode on a cliffhanger and then end the season on a cliffhanger.
I don't know. I totally think...
I mean, you can.
Yes,
you totally can.
I mean, even old Star Trek, outside of TOS, ended every season on a cliffhanger.
That's such a 90s television thing, though.
Hannibal ends every season on a crazy cliffhanger that changes everything.
Oh, they're gonna do that, aren't they?
I mean, if you want your wish of them accidentally ending up in TNG times, that is entirely a Hannibal level twist that would have existed.
Well, no, so when they do I overshot, we are late by, and I'm say 200 years, say 200 years, say 200 years.
9 months.
Boo, that's not even late.
Cornwall has had Gabriel Lorca's Mirror Universe baby.
I guess that's enough time for that to happen.
Yes, it totally is.
God,
9 months is such a very specific number because it has a very cultural meaning of a baby could have been conceived and born in that time.
Good thing there's only one person who canonically fucked who stayed behind in the universe. Fuck.
I don't think that's where they're going, but it would be really hilarious if it was.
I think that's just a coincidence. Yes. What a dumb thing.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, does that mean that we're in 2257 or whatever now?
I mean, we've been in 2057 for a...
Or you know what I mean? Are they in a different year? Are we 1 year closer to TOS?
That happened... no, because that happened in... One of the episodes was in December, so I think they were in February when they left.
December was episode 1, I think. Which is 6 months before.
Oh, I don't have the time to go through memory alpha right now.
The date she says, December whatever, is the very first log in the pilot. And that's before the war starts. Then there's 6 months into the war or whatever. And then there's 9 months past that. So we are... So, no, episode 3 happens in November 2256.
Okay. Which means that we will probably be late 2257 at the end of chapter 2. Okay. Which means that we'll probably be 2258 next time, is my assumption.
That's only 8 years before TOS, Jackson.
I know, and if this show runs...
into TOS... What if they do the Voyager thing and they just make little hops forward in time over and over again and then they end up in TOS times?
Yeah, what if the series ends with them all wearing the TOS uniforms?
I can't imagine that looking good.
I mean, it'd be whatever, modernized version of them, but I bet I would not be surprised. I don't even know if I want this, but I would not be surprised if there's a big, we're all wearing the red, yellow, and blue uniforms now.
What if there's a season where half the cast wear the red, yellow, and blue uniforms, and half of them wear the old uniforms?
It's just a television special, like they did a TV movie.
Yep.
That's only for us. That's for no one. No, that's not true. That's actually for an alarming amount of people.
Yeah, no, everyone saw Generations, and we're like, why is only half of them wearing their uniform? And the answer is very stupid.
Oh, it's such a stupid answer, man. Star Trek's pretty good.